Welcome to the next step in your learning about the instructional cycle. The end goal of this step is for your team to review the process needed to align assessments with weekly success criteria and then discuss planning steps to make it happen consistently at your school. But first, let's think about what you have already accomplished. You have unpacked your standards and created learning progressions that describe, block by block, the path for your students to learn grade-level skills. So now it's time to make sure your assessments are aligned with your success criteria. First, let's do a quick review of what a short-term assessment is. Remember, a short-term assessment provides a pinpoint of each student's current location in the instructional cycle. It measures your student's ability to demonstrate observable expectations of student work. This is known as your success criteria. And it provides specific insights for you and your students to incorporate as you plan for upcoming teaching and learning. So why is this step so important? Unfortunately, too often classroom assessments are not well matched to the weekly success criteria that teachers have defined for students to demonstrate mastery. This creates a situation where testing looks totally different from instruction. In other words, testing just for the sake of testing. Students are confused and teachers get information that isn't very helpful to them when planning for next steps. But probably most concerning is that this takes away valuable instructional time that teachers and students will never get back. So what does it look like when short-term assessments are aligned with success criteria? Well, let's take a look at an example. On this example, the overall learning intention is that students will craft strong arguments that state a claim and support it with clear reasons and relevant evidence. So at the end of the instructional cycle, the teacher will be looking for an introduction that states a purposeful claim, an organized writing structure that presents the reasons and evidence in a format that is logical for the selected format and style, inclusion of relevant evidence from quality or required sources that demonstrate a student understands this topic and text, cohesion throughout that makes connections between the claim, reasons, and evidence and acknowledges opposing views, and an intentional conclusion that wraps up and supports the argument. So now let's look at the learning progression for this example. With the weekly success criteria, also notice that each week the expectations for students require more skill leading up to evidence of mastery to get them ready for the medium-term assessment. Here your success criteria is that students can support their claim with at least 2 strong reasons and justify them with relevant evidence from the text. Given the success criteria, the type of learning task necessary to demonstrate this is going to be an essay, which is a product. This is a great match for assessment because it is a written response. I also need to think about the depth and complexity. For this, I believe this task is between a level 2 and a level 3 because the students are being asked to summarize basic information but also asked to justify their opinion. So in my professional judgment, I selected a complexity level of 2. So at this point, I've figured out my weekly success criteria, my assessment method, and the depth and complexity. So now I want to determine what assessment format I want my assessment to take. Since my team has been using the ACE Writing Organizer quite a bit, this is what we chose as the piece of our assessment. We are going to ask students to use the ACE Writing Organizer to present the first body paragraph of the essay that includes 1 claim and at least 2 strong reasons with supporting evidence. Of course, the best part about this process is that in week 3, I know that my students will produce a short essay that is directly aligned with the success criteria and therefore the learning progression. The data generated from this essay is going to give me the information to plan upcoming lessons and will be excellent student work for my team to review together as we determine our next steps as a department. And we have wasted no time on unnecessary assessment and are able to give our students clear and actionable feedback. So now that you have a basic understanding of the next step in the process, it's your turn to review the process in detail and create a plan to create your assessment matrix.